Braddock's expedition was just one of many British offenses against the French in North America in 1755. As Commander-in-Chief of the British Army in America, General Braddock led an army of 2,100 British soldiers. With these men, Braddock expected to seize Fort Duquesne. A young George Washington served as an aide to General Braddock. Braddock attempted to recruit Native Americans to help him in his cause.
We demand that you and your tribe help us conquer the French and take over their land. If you're lucky, we will let all of you live.
Nonsense. You've taken our land and betrayed us for many years. There's no way we're going to help you.
Braddock's expedition began in Virginia.
Today we begin our march for Ohio. We must be on guard and on point at all times during this march. We will take down the French and take Ohio.
He would have axemen cut down trees along his way. He brought many unnecessary items with him. He carried so many large items that they had to pave roads to get through dense forests. By July 8, 1755, the Braddock force was just east of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That evening, the Indians sent a delegation to the British to request a conference. Braddock sent Washington.
I've called you here on behalf of a peaceful solution. We ask that you leave our land and go back to where you came from. This land has been ours for many years.
I respect your opinion and understand the need for a peaceful solution.
Thank you.
While I agree with you, General Braddock is leading the expedition, and he has no intentions of stopping it.
How about you propose a peaceful solution to your general and see if he agrees?
We will return to Braddock, but I'm not sure if this solution will suit him.
All right.
Washington returns to General Braddock with the news.
General, the Indians have asked us to leave their land alone. They said it's theirs for years, and they think that we should leave, but it's not fair that we're taking their land.
Nonsense. We shall continue on and crush their puny army.
But sir!
That's final.
Meanwhile, at Fort Duquesne, the French garrison, consisting of about 250 regulars, including the Canadian militia, and about 640 Indian allies, camped outside the fort. The Indians joined sides with the French because the British were invading their land. The Canadian commander, Claude Pierre, received reports from the Indian scouting parties that the British were on their way to besiege the fort.
The British are heavily armed and are heading our way.
How many troops did you say?
Over 1,000 strong, and a cannon. They'll surely defeat us.
Not if we strike first. We will use the element of surprise to catch them off guard.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. We're setting ourselves up for a certain death.
We may not number many, but we are strong. We know the landscape better than anyone. We will use the land as our ally. Death to the British, and the land will be ours!
On July 9th, Braddock prepared for the final 7-mile push to the fort.
On this day, we will finish our last push and claim victory.
Alerted to the British approach, the French planned to ambush Braddock's column as they knew the fort could not withstand the British artillery. Leading a force of around 900 men, most of which were Native Americans, the French were delayed in departing. As a result, they encountered the British advance guard, led by Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Gage, before they could set the ambush.
They arrived early. Take your positions among the trees and attack.
Ambush! We're being attacked! Return fire! Return fire!
Under heavy pressure and taking casualties, Gage ordered his men to fall back on Braddock's men.
Fall back! Fall back! We need to retreat! We're sitting ducks out there. You can't kill what you can't see.
Retreating down the trail, they collided with the advancing column and confusion began to reign.
Fire the cannons!
Cannons were used, but in such confines of the forest road they were ineffective. As smoke filled the woods, British regulars accidentally fired on friendly militia believing them to be the enemy.
Form lines and fire. The Indians are no match for our military training and discipline. Fire! Fire!
Believing that his men's superior discipline would carry the day, Braddock continued the fight. After about 3 hours, Braddock was hit in the chest by a bullet. Falling from his horse, he was carried to the rear. With the commander down, British resistance collapsed and they began falling back towards the river.
Fall back and set a perimeter. We're being slaughtered. We need to help the remaining troops escape.
As the British retreated, the Native Americans surged forward. Wielding tomahawks and knives, they caused a panic in the British ranks, which turned the retreat into a rout. On July 13th, as the British camped near Great Meadows, Braddock succumbed to his injuries.
Me Indian, me go carve picture in rock.
Nice.